Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are working on finishing up in this area over here. We do have a fair amount to do there, but we're also really pivoting to a bit more of a defensive position. We've been working pretty hard on getting our technology generation up to snuff. It's getting better. It's not exactly where it needs to be yet, but the board is also being a bit of a jerk and not letting us do the things that we want. Now, we do want to get a couple of extra gun batteries over here. We don't have any other types that we can do at this moment, but we can put in a communications jammer there as well. We can do the same thing over here, but we should be needing to do some upgrades here, right? Yes, and that's going to be fairly expensive. But we're working on reinforcing these ships. Okay. The board is letting us spend the alloys in the way that sees fit, but we were deliberately choosing not to reinforce these last episode because that will continue to put us over our naval cap and reduce our amount of alloy growth. So we're not doing that yet. We're saving up our alloy amount, but I did want to get these going at least. And Revok getting upgraded would be a good thing. The same with Halvam. It is going to cost us alloys, but there's not a ton that we can do about that. We need a lot of alloys right now. That's for sure. So we're working on various things. We definitely want to get all of these stations done. Yeah, that's all looking good. That's a continental world over here. Okay, so we should be able to settle that without any problems. Then, of course, we've got this tundra world. During a clandestine mission to the surface of Hasela 3, one of our shuttles was intercepted by a squadron of atmospheric fighters belonging to a local nation-state. A lucky missile hit disabled the shuttle's engines, and it crashed in a remote wilderness. I think I saw that episode of Star Trek. I did see that episode of Star Trek. We need to act fast if we are to evacuate any survivors before the unsophisticated reach the crash site. All evidence of our presence must be removed. Time is short. So we need to rescue the shuttle survivors.
Situation log revised.
And that is, of course, over here. Is that a science ship thing that we need? Because we're currently excavating this archaeological site. We can hop over there and then return to the site excavation. We also finished up our research station output, which is very, very solid. And active reconnaissance and basic cloaking field generators seems like a good idea. We'll grab that for the time being. As far as our society research goes, Commerce Gigaplexes is definitely something that we can sell to the board. And so we'll do that. That sounds like a good idea. I would very much like to get this Starhold upgrading, and we'll do that. But we have a pretty big deficit of alloys right now, thanks to just wandering into the Zoltan system. And that was unfortunate for sure. What are you guys doing over here? Occupied by the Pictlings. That's interesting. The Pictlings are very unlikely to be attacking us, so we're okay with that. A group of investigators have found a hidden factory on Wua Prime. The building, in its state of decay, tells of an old civilization, one that excelled at constructing things that stood the test of time. Our colony would easily be able to use the facility to add to the colony's production output, so we'll definitely utilize that. Cool. That definitely seems like a thing that we would do. I would like, eventually, let's see, we're at 84 influence. That's interesting. The legacy of the Vengralium Trium is also the legacy of the Orlan Star merchants. They're no longer with us, but the prescribed quotas must still be met. Well, show us your wares. What have you got? 500 unity for increasing the trade value of all systems. 15% trade value for 80 years for 500 unity sounds like a really good deal. That's basically a month and a half of unity gain for an 80-year 15% trade value boost. Now, we're not collecting a lot of our trade value, but we are actively working on getting that trade value collected. So, deal. Okay. I like it. That is definitely something that we will do. But like I said, a lot of this trade value is not currently being collected, and we should work on that for sure. Since our initial settlement of Maradetta Prime, several anomalies in the planet's biosphere have been discovered. The ecosystem is unstable and has not developed according to projected models for a world of this type. Our scientists suspect outside tampering, and those suspicions have now been confirmed. A few of our colonists have stumbled upon a large underground terraforming complex that was built thousands of years ago. The equipment was apparently deactivated in the middle of the terraforming process, leaving the planet's biosphere in its current unfinished state. If we supply enough power, we should be able to reactivate the machinery. There's no telling what the end result will be like, however. Abandoned terraforming project is on Maradetta Prime, which is currently a tropical agro-world.
Situation log revised.
Okay, so food from jobs minus 20%. That's not good for an agro-world. That's for sure. We'll put in a corporate culture site for right now, and we definitely want to do one of these things. We could either resume the process, or we could dismantle it. Current habitability here is what? 50%. Okay. 100% for the Miravandia. Honestly, I think we just dismantle it. Let's get rid of it, and that should be the end of it. Cool. I don't think we need to terraform it any further. I mean, we could, I believe we can get a Gaia world out of that, but I don't think that's strictly speaking necessary.
Upscaling complete.
I'm content with what we have there. It'll be fine. So we'll head on over this direction. We can definitely get that starbase queued up. We're still working on grabbing our mining stations over here. It'll be a bit before we make our way to Viscaran's Maw. So that is
Special project actualized.
Our scientists have finished seeing to the safe dismantlement of the abandoned terraforming complex on Maradetta Prime. We still have no information on who built it, but the equipment is remarkably advanced. It should provide a welcome boost to our own research into terraforming methods, which is something that we want, and we get terrestrial sculpting out of it. Cool. So that gives us terraforming gases and allows us to start terraformation. So we can now construct our own planets. Ish. We can turn crappy planets into slightly better planets. And that's fine. What would the edict for terraforming gases cost? Only 2 exotic gases? Do it. Can we work on any terraformations right now? The answer is yes. But most of these are requiring climate restoration at this time. There are none of these that we can do without climate restoration. Okay. So for the moment, we can't work on that, but we will get there. And if that's the case, then we should not have the terraforming gases edict active. We'll get rid of that. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we would grab Cosmalian with Yutan. Okay, the space pirates have shown up in the Escola system. That's very rude of them to be that far out, but whatever. We're going to send new ships and Everwarm over to deal with that.
Station under assault.
Cool. Like I said, piracy is going to be an issue going
Special
forward.
project
For sure.
actualized.
Operatives from the Cache Consider managed to evacuate several survivors from the crashed shuttle on Hasela 3. The remaining debris was destroyed in a controlled explosion, leaving nothing but a small crater for the pre-FTLs to find. The nation-state where the incident occurred will no doubt blame its neighbors for this border violation, but hopefully the disruption to their natural development will prove minimal. Excellent. So we get a bunch of society research out of that. I like it. And in Ascension's End, I do want to think about building a starport here. For the purposes of grabbing this. That said, if our purpose is grabbing these, we'd be better off to do it in, say, Strubius, or even in, like, Kalendine. But I don't know if it would jump over this system for the collection. Offhand, I don't know that. So we're going to build it in Strubius, and that should be fine. I think it would. I think the collection would. So we would want to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Revok. Right. Never mind. What am I talking about? We do not need this starport built. Revok will get there. It'll just take it some time. Noted. So up over this direction is where a lot of our trade value is not going to be collected. We've got Uton here, which will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we do not quite grab Ethos. We've got Dongar up here, which would not get grabbed either. And I think for the moment, we are going to upgrade this starport. And we will upgrade in probably directly in Ethos.
Upscaling complete.
Yeah, I think we would build here. Okay, so that would get us all of our current trade value. There might be some out here that would not be grabbed yet, but that's okay. Modular engineering finishes up, and that actually just gave us starbase building cost reduction, so maybe we should cancel these and redo them. They were 200 before. It's still 200. Okay, so that doesn't actually change that. Noted. These guys are now on high awareness. Okay. That's interesting. We're still on the passive observation here. And we'll see what ends up happening with them when they bump into a higher age. Do we want to grab engineering research from researchers? Not really is the answer. Although planetary defense hangars and hangar bays would definitely be a good thing to grab here, so we'll grab that. I like it. The Cache Compose can definitely build its mining and research stations, and then we'll head over into Astrikian. Cool. That'll take a little while to build. So that's looking reasonably fine. Any job work that we need? Yes, actually, on this mining world. The crew we assigned to work the odd factory on Wua Prime has disappeared. We could send a new workforce to take their place, or we could raise the facility to the ground, making sure that this will not happen again. It still suits our needs. Fantastic. So we could definitely build a mining district here, and I'll do so. Okay. The awareness level here is decreased to partially aware. Solid. I like it. Hopefully that will continue to drop. And we're almost certainly going to need another trade station. Let's see here. We've got 2 in Tem here. We've got 4 in Batrak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be Benetnash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we would have to go down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would reach Tem. Would it reach Bardigan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it would. Okay, so
lost.
We should then upgrade here. We're going to need to wait for the month tick for that to happen.
Upscaling complete. Upscaling
there we go.
complete.
So that will be underway. And we did just finish up a number of our constructions. Those were our military
Mining
constructions on these
platform
stations. And yeah, they're attacking over here in Escola. We're on our way over to deal with that. This tech world requires a planetary capital, and we will certainly grab that. We're about to run out of food. Now we're not. Okay, so that problem is solved, but the board is not happy with us having to buy things in. They want to be vertically integrated, and I can't say that I disagree with that. We're going to grab the Research Institute for right now, and we definitely do need to solve our consumer goods and food problems. There's no doubt about that one. This agro world here would be very, very good to continue to develop. It has a bunch of available jobs, and that's the case with a lot of our worlds right now. We need pops.
Research actualized.
And we'll get them. Basic Strike Craft finishes up. So at this point, we could grab, say, the mineral purification hubs. There's a lot of good economy tech here. But we'll take mineral purification hubs. So these guys are still chilling out over here, being very rude. We'll eliminate them fairly soon, though. The new ships will be arriving there in about a year. Oh boy, it takes us so long to get around. But that's early game Stellaris for you. Records aboard the station reveal that the former inhabitants were deeply religious and had no contact with the outside world, which they feared and despised. Every aspect of their lives was governed by an omniscient oracle who scried their destinies at birth. Divine Will decided everything, from their choice of partner and occupation to the minutiae of their daily lives, leaving them with little individual freedom. Most were afraid to diverge from their destined paths, as all who did perished under mysterious circumstances. Curious indeed. Okay, so these guys are now back up to high awareness. Why is their awareness level at high? We're on passive observation, and the fleet is cloaked. Why is their observation level high?
Upscaling complete.
I'm not sure, but the Revok starbase has finished. That is, of course, this one down over here. And we definitely want to grab the trade hubs to increase our collection range. Beyond that, is there anything else that we want here? I don't think there's anything in these buildings that will increase collection range. No, probably just resource silos for right now is what we want.
Upscaling
So we'll grab that for the
complete.
moment. Mining station
Upscaling
has
complete.
finished up over here. We did just max out our minerals, so I'm going to sell off a bunch of those. We're exporting minerals, of course, and we're heading into Astrekian right now. I do want to build this starbase, but we're in Viscaran's Maw as well. So this will need to get finished, and after we finish that, it'll be a nice long journey over to Jundis. So I think that'll be okay. Our factory world on Dahlberg Prime does need a job for a zombie. So a worker strata job. Okay, how do we want to do that? We don't have access to farm buildings, which is kind of insane. What other jobs are the zombies currently working? They do work clerk level jobs. Farmers, moat harvesters, and 1 unemployment. We're maxed out on our moat harvesting traps. They would not work as culture workers. They would not work as metallurgists. So those aren't options. We could go with a commercial zone here. And for the time being, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Okay. It's certainly not ideal, but the cash build is going to get a starbase construction going here soon. And they're now partially aware again. They're like fluctuating in their awareness level. Okay. We should probably build a
Upscaling
resource
complete.
silo here as well. And the Halvam starbase just finished. So we can replace this with a hangar bay. And then we're going to build gun batteries in these other slots for right now. So this one gets replaced with a hangar bay. It already has a queued construction. Right, we already took a look at that one. This would get replaced with a hangar bay, and then this would get replaced with a hangar bay. Cool. So for now, that's reasonably fine. An odd factor, huh? A second group of individuals has gone missing after working at the odd factory. Fortunately, one of the workers was able to leave a recording behind, revealing that there are traps capturing unsuspecting workers. The traps have been disabled, and we should be able to use the factory without further issues. However, the populace are none too happy about the potential death trap, no matter what we say. They'll get used to it. I'm sure it's fine. Or we could invest in securing the location. You know what? This is fine. We'll invest in securing the location.
Upscaling complete.
Cool. So we just finished our starbase up here. This is going to be a trade station. So we're going to put in 2 trade hubs, and we're going to, of course, put in an off-world trading company as soon as we have the alloys to do it. Our alloy production is definitely on
Research
the not
actualized.
great side. Commerce Megaplex is finishing up here, but improved production sounds really, really good. Eco-simulation would be good too. This is cheaper. We'll go for the eco-simulation. We kind of need both.
Upscaling complete.
We'll get there eventually. So we'll get these mining and research stations done. Of course, over here, I mean, we're mostly short on alloys right now. I'm going to convince the board to buy 250 alloys because we're going to invest those alloys into constructing an off-world trading company and then building in Viscaran's Maw. Those are both economic upgrades that the board is willing to go for. Don't tell them that there's only 3
Competitors
engineering research in
engaged.
Viscaran's Maw. They didn't ask, and we're not telling them that. Cool. So we eliminate the pirates. No problem. We'll get a
Competitive station
small amount
engaged.
of resources out of this. Kaboom. Excellent. Oh, we got an L-gate insight out of it. Cool. We'll head back for repairs, but we're going all the way back to Nightbirth. Strange reports from Vinjam 1. We're receiving strange reports. One of the native kingdoms has rallied under a mysterious religious figure, and we've seen evidence of them using advanced technology far beyond their current level of development. Could this be related to our missing scientist? Probably.
Upscaling complete.
Probably. So they're now partially aware.
Upscaling complete.
Okay.
Upscaling complete.
So we're getting our hangar bays put in here. Looks good. We want to get our research station in Viscaran's Maw, and then we're going to head over to Jaundice. So once we're done in Astrakian, we'll move into Edamar. We can also colonize this continental world. We could terraform it as well if we wanted to. Into an Arctic world? Or a desert world? The Arctic world would be the best habitability. Let's do it. We're going to terraform that into our highest habitability.
Research actualized.
Food from farmers. Okay, this gives us access to food processing facilities. That is a very big deal. We need to do that to get our economy solidified. As far as anything in the engineering category goes, there's not a lot that's amazing here. Just standardized destroyer patterns to increase the efficiency level of our destroyer production lines. The board is very, very eager to have that happen. So that sounds good. We're making our way back from Escola, and that's going to take some time. We're still struggling to get our 4,000 alloys here. We're spending our alloys on a lot of different things right now,
Upscaling complete.
and that's understood. So we're going to arrive in Jaundice in like 500 days. That's going to take some time, and we'll build up our influence there. I like it. So overall, that's looking very good. We're back to being positive in food now. And we've got this factory world
Research
that
actualized.
doesn't have anything going on it right now. We need additional building slots, so I'm going to put in a city district for the time being. Research institutes are now available, and that is, of course, a very big deal. Let's grab wormhole travel. Who knows what economic opportunities could be hiding behind these wormholes? Like this one here, this one here. Those wormholes might be very, very useful for us. So we'll grab that. That sounds absolutely great. Our capital does require an additional job for a Kelzen. Are you a slave? Yes, you're a slave. Okay. So if they're a slave, then that means that they have to be a low-level job. We should maybe wait here. How long until we get our food processing center? 2 months? I think we should build that. The archaeological team has made an unexpected discovery. Embedded within the station walls is a hidden surveillance system that seems to have been feeding visual and auditory information to a single point somewhere within the station's core. Someone was monitoring the disciples at all times, even in their most private moments. In some places, the equipment has been torn out or sabotaged. Closer to the central hub are signs of violence and disruption. It seems as though at some point the inhabitants discovered they were being monitored. Okay, cool. So we've got this tech world here. Can we actually get away with building a research institute here? We can, and we should. So we'll absolutely do that. And here,
Upscaling
I mean,
complete.
the argument would have been better for building the food processing center earlier. We've got 5 agriculture districts here. And so we do produce quite a bit of food. So I still think it's good, even though we're running a surplus of food right now.
Upscaling complete.
So that should be reasonably okay. Eventually, we're going to want to upgrade some of these stations. But for now, we're going to put in, not anchorages, we're going to put in trade hubs and an off-world trading company over here. Cool. So that's all looking good. We do
Research
need to continue to
actualized.
expand our starholds up to star fortresses. Farming subsidies finishing up here. And additional tile blocker clearances sounds great. So I do think that putting in food processing facilities on our capital is the right call for the moment. And we'll do that for now. I also want to build this starbase, and we want to get these upgraded. It's expensive, but they're trade stations. So I'm going to convince the board here to buy an additional 500 alloys, and those alloys are going to go into upgrading our trade stations. That will more than pay for itself eventually. So that's looking good. Our trade is under control the moment we get the next level of starbase tech. It's going to be a little bit yet, though. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep settling this area over here, and our economy is continuing to improve, as is our tech. And that's great. This tech world here needs something. Can we actually put on a research institute? No, we need to upgrade our planetary capital, so we're going to do a research lab. Cool. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.